Hi everyone, my name is Joe Barkley and I'm Manager of Communities here at ASUG headquarters. I'd like to welcome you to the Optimizing Productivity and Customer Service with Automated Order Processing webcast, and thank you for participating today. I'd now like to turn it over to our first speaker today, Steve Smith from Esker.
Thank you very much. Welcome everybody. I'm glad you were able to make it today, and hopefully you'll find this to be a useful presentation on how we can help you with sales orders. And I think not only being able to see a little bit about the product first, but then hearing from a customer will be very helpful as you begin to look into this perhaps for your own organization. So let's go ahead and get started. Really what has happened with sales orders and what everybody would really like to see is the perfect world of orders, and that is where all orders were just coming in through EDI, automatically going into SAP, and you would not have to touch a single thing. In fact, I remember the days when EDI first started coming out. This was really the promise of what it was going to do. The reality is, though, it just simply has not gotten there, because really most companies can't even afford to go with an EDI system, first of all, especially the small to medium-sized businesses. The formats of EDI itself are quite different. So whether you're looking at an IDOC or EDI, it's still, the formats are completely different because people will include different information and also in different order. So I've been told by a number of customers that are on and using EDI and receiving EDI orders that they're constantly having to have IT go back and modify the way that customers are sending them these formats, and it's just causing a lot of complications for them. And then finally, just the data itself might be wrong. Everybody could have a wrong part number, could have the wrong pricing, so it still has to go through some workflow. So the reality of what we're seeing out there is that, sure, there is some EDI that is coming in, and some of that will go in directly into SAP. However, a good portion of that still will have to go through a workflow process because there is something incorrect on the order itself. However, the most common way for orders still to be received is through fax. And whether you have fax machines or a fax server, that fax then has to be sent down to a customer service rep where they'll generally either print that out or take the piece of paper from the fax machine and then manually key the information in to get it inside of SAP. And now what we're seeing more and more of course, is email. And email has its own challenges in that, yes, the document usually is a cleaner document than what you'll get from a fax machine. It still must go through the same process, though, as a fax, where it has to be either printed or somebody's manually keying that information into SAP. But one of the problems that we're hearing from managers is that if the orders are being emailed directly to a CSR, the manager themselves is kind of losing focus of where these orders are, where they could be sitting, whose desk they're sitting on, and they may not even know that the orders exist. And the overall function in all three phases, our managers are telling us they simply do not know what's going on with their order processing until that information is inside of SAP. So that's great once it's inside, but there's a lot of work that has to be done to get it inside of there first. The other thing then that happens is then you have to generally file it away somewhere. And there are a lot of file cabinets that are filled with orders nowadays that take up a lot of space and can be quite difficult to track down, especially when you start receiving those phone calls from the customers saying, hey, where's my order? What's going on with this? Has it been filled? And as you can see, there's just a lot of manual touch points in the order processing stage where everything that takes place, and it can cost you anywhere from $60 to process an order to over $200 to reprocess one if something was wrong. Because now you have to take those goods back and maybe restock them or in some cases throw them away. So it can be very expensive if any mistakes are made as well. So this is an expensive process, a difficult one to solve, and hopefully we'll give you some ideas of how you can do that